Hello everyone, my name is Amira Darwish and this is project 4 for my Mechatronics class under Dr. Yasser Ismail. In this video, we'll be exploring how to determine the joint angles needed for robotic manipulators and effector to reach specific XYZ coordinates. Using graphical methods, we calculate the required joint variables for two different end effector positions. Then we'll verify these results using simulation software as demonstrated in the linked tutorial. This practical approach helps visualize how each joint influences the manipulator's overall position in 3D space, making it easier to understand robotic movement and control. Now I'm going to start explaining the code. In this part of the code, it imports essential libraries for project functions to use mathematical operations. And in this part of the code, it converts an angle in degrees to a PWM signal value for controlling a servo. It uses linear mapping between minimum and maximum angle values to corresponding PWM values. And it calculates by comparing the PWM value to be sent based on the angle. And this was going on in theta 1 and theta 2. Moving on to the main function. This is for position and length variables. X and Y represent desired end effector coordinates in centimeters. A2 and A4 denote link lengths for the manipulator arm. And down here in this part, this is for angle and distance calculations. R1 calculates the straight line distance to the end effector position. And then phi1 and pi1 and pi2 and pi3 are intermediate angles derived for the geometry of the arm using trigonometry and inverse kinematics. T1 and T2 are the main joint angles derived from the calculated angles to achieve the end effector position. Down here in this part, we are doing the PWM setup. PWM1 start initializes PWM to control the servo motors. And then we have a loop. We do have a loop, but we are not using it for this project. But the loop sends the converted angle T1 to servo 1 and then sends T2 to servo 2. It also introduces a 2-second delay to allow the servos to move. And this will be it for my code.
Total honesty between us. No secrets.
I 100% agree.
So here's the secret to start off. There is no guy with a thing.
I was beginning to wonder about him.
Now you.
Me.
That guy, let it go.
I'm sorry you got dragged into it.
Don't be.